Hi, welcome to a special podcast edition of NoFakeNews.net. My name is Dr. John Reiser. For those of you who don't know me, I run the NoFakeNews.net platform. NoFakeNews.net is it's a website that's been up and running since 2012, and I write about a variety of subjects and content that challenge the parameters of conventional thinking. This website is not for everyone, obviously. It's for the red pillars, those people that have swallowed the red pill and are able to critically think and are wide awake. So the subjects that we discuss here are very much not conventional ones that you will find on mainstream news platforms. Whenever we do a podcast, which is not often, I'm usually the one that's being interviewed. But today I'm going to be interviewing a very interesting gentleman by the name of David Weiss. He's better known as FlatEarthDave.com or Flat Earth Dave, and his website is FlatEarthDave.com. He's also the creator of the amazing app that you can download at your favorite Play Store. It's the Flat Earth Dave
Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app, but it's at FlatEarthDave.com.
I'm sorry. Okay.
All my links, everything is at Flat Earth Dave. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to try not to talk too much about myself. I want to talk about Dave and his amazing platform, and he's been gracious enough to grant me an interview so that people on our platform and obviously his platform can learn more about the work that he's doing. And Dave, before I introduce you, I wanted to just thank you once again for taking time out of your life and your busy schedule to allow us to do this interview. I really respect what you do. I think that truth telling is an important component of the world or the realm that we live in these days. And thanks again. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the platform David Weiss, Flat Earth Dave.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to talk to anyone that's red pilled. And I do enjoy talking to blue pillars, but sometimes they choke on the red pill. It gets a little difficult. So
yeah, it's true. It's true. So Dave, tell me first off for our audience, how did you become interested in flat Earth? I mean, obviously you had a life before you became an excellent communicator of this subject matter. What were you doing before you got into this?
You know, I used to say I hate being on microphone and I'm petrified of publicly speaking. And, since then I've done 1,300 interviews since 2021, maybe even 2022. And most of my life now is on microphone. So, that'll give you a good little life lesson there. I always question things throughout my life and realize that there's a lot of nonsense. And I realized school was just teaching us a lot of useless information. And it's when I started questioning what money was, and I watched a show called Money Masters, still available on YouTube. I highly recommend people watch it. And I realized, wow, money is just fake. What do you mean money's fake? You need money to buy a car. Sure, it's because everybody believes that the money is real. Therefore, it is real. Because if you believe it or you don't believe it, both are true, right? In your life, if you truly believe something or don't believe something, it's true for you. So everyone believes that money has value, therefore it has value. And it's a big scam. And, after that, I just started seeing other things. And my real big awakening was on the morning of 9/11. I was about to head to LaGuardia Airport. And, we know what happened on September 1st. And I'm watching it on TV and after the first plane. And so then I went down to my beach where I have a clear view of Manhattan. And I watched what the TV didn't really show you. And I watched those buildings literally turn to dust in air. And that really got me going. Years later, I started a podcast called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole out of New York City. And we were looking into all the things from, our first show, the title was 9/11 is Dave's Baby. And at the end of that first episode, all of the owners of the podcast studio had their head in the studio. They're holding their heads. They had no idea of any of the stuff I was talking about. And it kind of ballooned from there. But in our third year, people started sending me, hey, Dave, have you looked into flat Earth? And people can send me, hey, Dave, have you looked into the Malaysian flight? Have you looked into this? Have you looked into that? And I'd go, tell me more. And then I'd look and I go, wow, this is, I'd find all sorts of information. Flat Earth? Nope. I just deleted it. I banned them. They mentioned it again. It's like, you're banned. You just stay off of our platform. You're an idiot. And then finally, my friend Sophia Smallstorm made me look, and she made me. I was trying to debunk it. Like someone who's a red pillar, and you say, "Hey, this thing is fake." They go and go, "Hey, let me go confirm if this is real or fake." I went in
Right.
saying, "Let me disprove stupid flat Earth and prove the globe because it's obvious. Of course, the Earth is a globe, right? Of course." And for 2 weeks, I could not find anything that supported the globe. And the more I looked, the dumber the globe got. And we all have the same story, just on different timelines. Like Owen Benjamin did it live on the air. Over a course of a few weeks, actually, a couple months, he went from "I can't be a flat Earth person," like the flat Earth is stupid, to "I can't be a flat Earth person," to "the Earth is flat," and there's no doubt about it. So after that point, flat Earth became kind of an obsession, if you will, because I realized that after waking people up to 9/11, Sandy, and Boston, right? Those are three things that are provably fake, absolutely provable. You can wake people up to that and they go right back to sleep. But you wake someone up to flat Earth, you cannot go back to sleep. You can't. Matter of fact, I don't sleep. I haven't slept since 2018. Okay. It's the truth because there's
Well,
too
I
much
agree with
going
you.
on. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of information. When I first looked into it, it was about 7 or 8 years ago, and I have been involved with a lot of, I guess you call it truth telling. I'm a doubter of conventional thinking by nature. I looked into it, and like you say, I went in with the idea that this stuff has got to be fake. But the more I looked into it, like you, the more I became interested in it, and I couldn't dismiss it. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to share that.
no, that I mean that's basically my story. So then I realized the Earth was flat, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to really bring it up on the podcast yet because it's going to scare too many people away. But then I don't know, a week later, I was like, I got to bring it up, and it ended up turning into be like a part of the podcast. But then 3 years we ran our course, and the podcast broke up, and we started myself and guy named Curious Jay started the Flat Earth podcast. There was no podcast on Flat Earth, even though at that time Flat Earth was taken off. I mean, there lots of YouTube videos, but nothing in the podcast realm. So we started the Flat Earth podcast, and that got big also. And here I am. At one point, my truth journey made me walk away from my own business. I grew up, I went to college, went in corporate America, left corporate America, started my own business, was really successful. I had two partners. Things were going great, making tons of money. And my truth journey, my red pills, my main partner couldn't swallow them. And he was a normie on all levels. And I said to God one day, I said, I'm considering leaving everything I've worked my entire life to obtain. I went to college, I went to corporate America, I left corporate America. Many people don't. Started my own company. It's doing really well. And I'm considering walking away. It
Mhm.
sounds crazy. Can you give me a sign? And I'll tell you the two signs I got. All right. They're kind of interesting. We were in the commercial solar power development business. And commercial solar power projects are big. They're awesome. They're great. You make a lot of money. And my partner goes to me. He goes, "Oh, we're doing a residential job," and I hate residential jobs. I just hate them. They're small. They take the same amount of effort. You make a friggin' 1/100th of the money. And I was like, "For who? Why? Why?" And he goes, "The Clintons." Okay, the Clintons in Chappaqua. And I'm like, "Okay, God." Give me another sign. I need a different sign. I need one more, just one more, because that's just too crazy, right? And literally, it was either the same day or the next day. He goes, "We have easements on all of these commercial rooftops that we use, where we actually have more rights to the roof than the owner has, or equal rights." And he goes,
Right.
"We're going to be leasing our rooftops to 5G antennas on our solar systems." And I don't know. I'm assuming you're not a fan of 5G. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, stop, just stop. Okay, I got it. And that's when I decided to leave. Um, you know, leave my everything in my life was about money at that point, making more and more and more money. And I was literally walking away with the only way I was generating money at that point was my app. And
Right.
yeah, I was getting those small checks from Apple and Google. And I went home to pay my bills that night, and I paid all my bills, and the last bill left me with $1. And I was
Yeah.
like, there's another sign. And so I did it. And again, it's not about the money. None of us are in this for the money. We're in this because
Right,
we
right.
want to save um, our world from going into complete and total tyranny. So we're
Yeah.
on the brink of freedom and tyranny. And I think both are going to happen. I think that certain people, NPCs, are going to walk right into those 15-minute cities and be locked in there, and they're going to become literally, transhuman bots, and we're going to live on the outside, maybe a little bit like Logan's Run, where we're the free people outside,
Yeah,
the crazy people.
absolutely. Dave, tell me, what's the name of your app again?
It's called it's a long name, the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Forget that because you probably already did. FlatEarthDave.com. At the top of my
Okay.
website, there's an app banner. Click it and download it. Right? We
Okay.
just literally we just changed servers. We did a big upgrade, an update, and as of the time of recording, we were down for almost 12 hours. We literally just came back online 5 minutes ago. So the app is
Okay.
back up and running. All is well. Um, and
Great.
just the Google and Android version there's a direct download that's not going to be back online until next week, but that's all right. That's a very small percentage of the people that are using that because everyone likes the Play Store is easy. And the app gets by the censorship. Right there's so much. I created the app to help show people things, but right here every day there's a featured video, and just for that, just like get up, have your coffee, watch the featured video, and your whole day is going to have a new wonderment to it. It's going to be a new question. You're going to be thinking about the world that you live in. That alone, to me, is priceless. Having, you know, a lot of people just they have their slave jobs and they go through the day and they literally just are trying to get through the day and they're thinking
Mhm.
about nothing, right? At least while you're doing your job, and we all listen, we have to play in the system with them. You could be thinking creatively. And guess what? This is what they don't want you to know. Your creative thoughts create your reality, right? So if you're thinking nothing, thinking about getting through the day, thinking about getting home, drinking alcohol and watching TV, that is what you're manifesting. But when you start
It's not the recipe for creative thinking, that's for sure.
yeah, so when you creatively think during the day, you start attracting, energy flows where attention goes. So when you literally use your God-given mind, imagination, because you're creating the world,
Hmm.
it comes to you. But they don't want us.
Hmm.
They want us scared. They want our minds shut down. They want us living on a cartoon ball, which is a
Hmm.
prison, which is a prison filled with lack and fear. And fear
So
is
let's talk.
evidence appearing real.
Let's talk a little bit about this. Okay, that's a great segue into this. I agree with you. The more that you are creative, the more it comes back to you, and you're able to expand on that. Let's talk about in your opinion, what is the best evidence that you've seen, that you've come across that kind of disproves that we're living on a globe, a spinning ball in the vacuum of space that was created out of this explosion that created all of this organized matter that perfectly turned into balls or spheres and happened billions of years ago. What was it? What have you come across, in your opinion, that's the best evidence that disproves that, besides common sense?
Well, there you go. Common sense. All of it. I'm going to give you an answer, but I'm going to also say that all of it is. Every single proof that we're not on a
Mhm.
globe is the best proof. It all the people say to me every day, what's the best proof? What's the best video to show somebody? It depends, right? If somebody is biblically based, you could show them a video that's biblically based, right? But if someone's not biblically
Right.
based, you cannot show them that video. That used to be me,
Right.
right? I love the scientific method because that goes to everybody. The biblical method only goes to people that might give it some weight. But once you wake up to flat Earth, you're looking at it all. So, the thing that got me was boats over the horizon. I live on the water, and I've seen boats go over the horizon. But then I found out you can zoom them back in, except if it's really rough. And I was like, well, why can't you zoom them in? Why the water's rough? And it's really simple once you understand it. But my favorite is, if you live on a ball, there's a set amount of curvature at a certain distance. So you can't see my mouth right now. Why? Because it's behind physical curvature, right? You can zoom in,
Right.
but you're not going to ever zoom in below the physical curve, right? So
Correct.
you have
Yeah.
that, you're hiding behind a house and someone's on the other side of the house. You can't see that person because the house is in the way. Well, the curve is the house, right? the hump. So what is that? What is that amount of curvature? And there's all these formulas out there. There's 4 basically, but the one that's the easiest is 8 inches per mile squared, which is based off of the Pythagorean theorem. And it works perfectly accurately up to like 2,000 miles, which nobody can see 2,000 miles through the atmosphere. And in fact, when it does start going parabolic, it actually favors the globe, right? So the ones that the flat earthers choose to use is the one that will give the benefit of the doubt to the globe and say, oh, there should be 30 feet of curvature, and we're only going to say it's 27, okay? Which is just, the discrepancy between flat and globe is so great that we can give them as much as they want, and it still doesn't work. One of my favorites is Canigou Mountain from Aluja, France. So we're here in Aluja, France at a certain altitude. Out here is Canigou Mountain, 175 miles away. And according to globe math from that altitude, the top of Mount Canigou should be over 1/2 mile below a physical curve. And you can't see it. Therefore, the earth is a curve, or earth a ball, right? Therefore, the earth is a ball. Right. But the sun travels between the tropics, as you know, and it goes into the Tropic of Capricorn, out to the Capricorn, and into Cancer, right? It goes in and out. And twice a year, it passes right in line with Mount Canigou and the camera, right? So when it does that, the sun is going away, it's going beyond, and all of a sudden, when it backlights the mountain, you can see the mountain. And right here, the very top of the mountain, that top should be over 1/2 mile below the curve. Now, here's the globalist explanation. Well, in reality, the sun has already said it's refracting up, and then the mountain that has no light on it is also refracting up and blocking the refracted sun. Or Earth is flat, you're an idiot, and it's just right there. This is, I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. It's right there.
So those mountains should not be visible to us based on the Earth curve calculation.
But the globe math, the answer is both of those are behind the curve, right? So the globe is saying, right, that here's the mountain, and we're going to put it behind the curve. So it's behind the curve, right? And as the sun goes away, right, it's refracting up. So it looks like it's above the curve. It's really down here, but refraction makes it look like it's here. And the mountain refracts up and gets in front of the sun and blocks the sun. The reason you can't figure that out is because it's stupid, right? And you're not stupid, right? People think, I can't figure that out. I don't have a PhD. I didn't get a degree. Yeah, a degree in stupid, right? Because the PhDs are regurgitating the nonsense that they're taught. Now, the flat earth, the globers will show you really good math, crazy calculations that actually show you exactly how it works. A calculation based on standard refraction. What? What is standard refraction? Did you know that something when it's over the curve, its refraction actually follows the exact curve of the Earth. So no matter how far over the curve is, if you can see it, it's refracting around that curve perfectly. So it appears to be on the land, right there. It just refracts up. It never refracts up higher. Like, I don't see a house like towering in the air because it's refracted up that high, right? It's so dumb that we all look back and go, how do we ever believe that nonsense?
Yeah, what you say is so true. And I come from I'm a chiropractic physician. I taught as an associate professor in a chiropractic college and some other institutions for a number of years. And when you get around, the more initials people have after their name, the more they rely on officialdom, and they're taught in these institutions. I love when I remember I watched a video with you. It's one of the first videos I ever saw at you, and you were on, and the guy was very hostile. I don't remember his name.
Dave. It was Professor Dave.
Yeah.
No, but it's failed musician Dave. He's not a professor, and he's really just a globe troll that Google pushes out there, and he says the stupidest, dumbest things ever. He
says, do the math, right? So I'm listening to this, and he said, do the math. I'm thinking to myself, this guy doesn't let them do the math. What math do they want you to do? They don't even understand the math. They just put these things out there. And I think the goal is to try and embarrass people. They try to embarrass you so that you will not bring up subjects that are obviously blatantly challengeable.
from this point here, these mountains, hard to see in this picture, but you zoom in on the app. If you just type in 700-mile mountains, right? You can see these mountains all here, all lined up. They're over 700 miles away. It's closer to 60, but we're just going to round down because we love giving the globe a little benefit of the doubt. 50 miles, the tops of those mountains from this altitude, using their math, their calculator, should be over 50 miles below the curve. Okay?
Yeah.
50 miles.
Mm-hmm.
But they're refracted up, and they can give you they can either say that this picture's fake, or God forbid they just go do it themselves. They could. Or they'll give you the calculations on how it's refracting up and all of this nonsense. Or they're just right there. That's it. They're just right there. Okay. Like, how come these mountains over here, hard to see, are even farther away, but they're still on the same line? Right?
Love it.
How is that possible? How's it possible?
Love it.
Oh, Dave Weiss, he's a scammer. He's just trying to sell you his $3 app. He knows the earth is a globe, but he's a scammer. He's a scammer. They love saying I'm a scammer. You watch. When you post this, they'll show up in the comments. Go look at their channels. Do you have a YouTube channel? This going to be on YouTube, or?
I'll put it on YouTube and BitChute.
So you watch. They'll show up. I challenge everybody. Go look at the comments. The ones that you say, I'm a scammer, I'm a grifter, I'm just here, whatever, right? Go look at their channels. I call them the globe proof channels. But what I mean is they've compiled all of the globe proofs on their channels. And by that, I mean their channels are completely empty with zero video, with zero content.
Yeah. And the other thing, Dave, that I've noticed doing what I do, because a lot of the things that I do are censored as well. There is the search engines are indexing files and rigging them so that whenever you talk about any subject, let alone this one, that is against the conventional thinking, they're designed so they just populate the search results, but nothing but things that prove that what you're talking about is insane. And this is a fixed and rigged system. It's been going on for many years. I think most of it's bots probably, but there is so much out there that tries to discount what we're saying, what you're saying, especially with flat Earth, but with many other things. And I saw it with the pandemic. We saw it with anything that we talk about that is going to challenge what the officialdom that they want to present. So let me ask you this. What about the space programs? We have NASA, we have the European Space Agency, we have a lot of private companies now that are trying to get into. I saw this video not too long ago, and right away you see the pronounced curve. They're using fisheye lenses. Why do they use fisheye lenses all the time if they want to prove that there's a globe? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. What do you think about the space programs?
I mean, when you actually look at the ISS feeds and everything, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's embarrassing, but people, when they believe something wholeheartedly, because they get you at a very young age before you can actually think. And then people, when they see something that supports what they believe, they just believe it. They don't even think about it. They don't even think about it at all. They just like, oh, that must be the case. So when we look, whoops, that's not what I want to show you. Hold on. This. So this is the National Buoyancy Lab, where they have a replica of the space station and a crystal clear pool. And this is space, right?
Right.
This is space, right? Oh, that's amazing. That's so cool, and people are just so proud of that. And it's absolutely insane. If we go back to that thing I was showing. So this is now watch. See how the edge is morphing as it goes up. It gets more concave, convex, right? But they'll never let it come down below half the camera because it'll turn concave. But look, where's the land? Right? Oh, they're over the ocean. Right? They're always over the ocean, right? But if you watch the middle here, like try to draw a line through the clouds. Watch the line. See how it's flexing as it goes past the middle? So it's going like this, right? It's going like that, right? So look at this line right here, right? Look at that line. And as it goes up, when they move up, watch that line. It'll morph. Let me see if I can move it. There you go. It's morphing up and down. but they only show these little clips, and people just want to believe it. Look at the solar panels; they're curved,
Yeah.
and like
So is that a fish? That's a result of the
this is
fisheye.
a fisheye lens. This is just, I don't know why they can't do it better. I think they could do it better. Nobody's up there. Okay, they're not in space, right?
Right.
Maybe they're on a. I mean, this is just video of like from an airplane or a balloon, right? You can see it flexing. You can see it flexing. Now they're showing some land, right? How did that happen? Wait, they're just over the ocean a second ago, right? So again, if you actually watch these things and use your common sense, it's ridiculous, right? They want you to believe that this is going over the Earth. Wait a minute, you're telling me that these little lights, these street lights, are going all the way to space, right? And you can see them. This is just an airplane. A lot of this is animation, like these lightning strikes, animation, right? This is the atmosphere. What? Right? Here's the solar panel.
Mm-hmm.
Look how everything comes at the same speed. Wait a minute, the back would be moving much slower. Here's a question for you. I just noticed.
Mm-hmm.
How can we see the clouds? The sun is on the other side of the Earth. How do we see the clouds?
I don't know.
Well, special
I
camera,
don't know.
special NASA camera, national nighttime cloud camera. The sun is on the other side. It should be pitch black over there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
they edit it right out at the end, and you don't get to see anything.
So let me ask you this question. So just so our viewers and our listeners can know, I had never met Dave before. I've never met him, and so I was writing an article for the website on the International Space Station. I think it's fake. I don't believe that there's. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think it's real. So I wanted to get the perspective from a flat Earth point of view of what this thing was. So I wrote Dave on his website. I wrote him a letter, told him who I was, and he calls me up. I was in the mall with my wife. He calls me up, and and he starts talking. So you're telling me that that you had a whistleblower, and you're not naming any names, but you had someone that was inside NASA that told you that after a certain altitude, I think you said the viscosity or it changes, the atmosphere changes. They're not even allowed to go up past a certain distance. So can you talk on that a little bit, or?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. It's no problem. Let me just show you this real quick. So this is the ISS. It's almost the size of a football field. So we're looking at a football field on Google Earth, and I put a red box over 100 yards, which is showing about the size of the ISS. And then we're going to move a mile up, and it becomes pretty small, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to move 5 miles up, and I don't even know if you can see it, right? It's hard to see. There it is, right? Right there, 5 miles up. So now we're going to go 10 miles up, which is twice the height of an airplane. I lost track. Okay, that's 10 miles, 25 miles high. And there's no way you're ever going to see it. Your eye can't see it, right? So let's go as high as Google will let us, 50 miles high, or maybe I think we go higher than that. But at 50 miles high, you can't see it. It's completely gone. And all the way up to 240 miles, which is as high as they let you go, and it's a cartoon at this point, you can't see it, right? How the heck can we see the International Space Station with our naked eye, right?
I would think it'd be highly impossible.
You think it's actually scientifically provably impossible, right?
I told my wife, it's funny you said this. I said, it's from Charlotte, North Carolina to Atlanta, Georgia, is a little bit of a shorter distance from where the space station is supposed to be above, in distance. I said, imagine looking at the football field. It used to be the Georgia Dome and the Mercedes-Benz Dome now in Atlanta, and trying to see that from Charlotte. I said, it's preposterous. It's crazy.
I've seen the ISS, the light that they say is the ISS, and it showed up on the horizon just when they said it would. So if the ISS going directly above me is 240 miles, 250 miles, right? Over on the horizon, it's 1,000 miles away, right? And it's going 17,500 miles an hour. I could watch it for 8 minutes. It would be in California. I'm in Connecticut, right? I can still see it. It's gone over 4,000 miles, and I can still see it. Okay. Yeah. So when it's over your head, if it goes right over your head, that's 250 miles. And then 17,500 miles an hour, it's going away from you. Okay.
Right.
You see it for minutes, right? Whatever that comes out to, it's going thousands of miles and you can still see it, right? People, here's the problem. No one's taught to think in big numbers. We're never taught about big numbers, right? You've seen me. How long is a trillion seconds? Do you know?
No.
Take a guess. Take a guess. 1 trillion seconds. They didn't teach you this in school. How long is 1 trillion seconds? Take a guess.
100 years?
Very close. 31,000 years. Okay. So just let that soak in. A trillion, which is only 12 zeros, is 31,000 years. And they tell us that Polaris is 20. No, not even. I don't even know how many miles it is. The closest star is 25 trillion miles away.
Yeah. They just throw numbers out.
They dilute your mind so you can't think. They never taught you how to deal with large numbers. People don't understand, like in cryptocurrency, wallet addresses are random numbers. They're just random numbers and letters together. But the number is such a big number that if all of the supercomputers in the world were randomly checking random numbers, looking for a wallet address, they would never find one in like six sextillion years. That's how long it would take them to find one active wallet, right? That's how big these numbers are. Our minds, like, I just lost half the audience right now, probably almost all the audience, because they can't understand something like that because we were never taught to think. We were taught to memorize and regurgitate accounting, basic geometry, not vortex mathematics, not sacred geometry, basic corporate slave numbers. That's what they taught us.
Right. No, I think when you put it into those types of words and you create you create that type of a visual picture, it becomes more and more apparent that they're making a lot of stuff up. Let's talk about talking about pictures in outer space. Apollo, which is the program where we allegedly went to the moon in the late 1960s and early 1970s. And then we suddenly got amnesia and forgot how to do it until Artemis comes along. So Artemis is the new Apollo, and they are up to sending. I think it was either last year or 2023. I think it was. They allegedly sent an uncrewed mission around the moon. First time they went out of low Earth orbit since Apollo. When you look at those pictures, Dave, and you look at Apollo, one of the things that stares me in the face is the absence of stars. You don't see stars. Yet, when we look at the Hubble, we look at the James Webb, we see nothing but beautiful images, almost cartoon-like images.
Almost. What do you mean almost cartoons? Actual cartoons. Actual cartoons.
Stars and gas nebula and all this stuff. Where are the stars? Where are the stars?
Well, you brought up a whole bunch of things. Let's talk about Artemis. Here's they showed us, very cool. They got some math here. They say, the spaceship's going to go around. It's going to go out here. It's going to go orbit, and then it's going to pop something out of its rear end, which is going to send it back to Earth. Really cool, right? Here's something. Is this done? Is this revelation of the method, or is this a whistleblower? What's this?
Yeah.
It's the flat Earth map.
Yeah, I know.
We pointed this out, and they changed it on their website. They changed it back to a globe, right? So what's up with that, right? Yeah. And the whole map, so when we go back now, this is what their website looks like. They changed it to a globe.
Wow, they change things all the time.
Yeah, they do lots of stuff. Like we had the Georgia Guidestones prove that actually proved the Earth is not wobbling, and a terrorist blew it up. 3 hours later, bulldozers were there, took the whole thing away. The time capsule disappeared, and everybody forgot about it. Right?
Never heard about it again.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything. Yeah. Right?
It's great.
Yeah.
Well,
Artemis, this picture's from a P1000 camera from Earth, pretty detailed, and this is from Artemis, which is right next to the moon, 80 miles from the moon, from the bright side of the moon, and this is from Earth. This is Artemis. NASA gets $75 billion a day, and they send up a 2 megapixel camera. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got better things to spend our money on. We don't have to take pictures for you. I'm like,
Dave, you bring up an excellent point that people always say, well, why would they do this? Why would they do this? Well, why do you do what you do? You don't have really a vested interest in whether the Earth is a ball, an ironing board, or whatever. But NASA does have a vested interest in it because they're making a lot of money from taxpayers and other things. This is an industry, and it's based on a vision, a false one, I think, that that this thing is a globe. It's a spinning ball. I mean, how many directions are we rotating and traveling through space at thousands of miles an hour? And yet it feels to me and you, I'm sure, like we're stationary.
I'd be more worried about these crazy pixelations of the Earth, right? Because that's everyone's going to die. There's going to be tsunamis and all sorts of stuff. This is Artemis coming around the moon. What just happened to the Earth, right? Watch this whole thing. It goes. Oh, hold on, coming back. So watch it. What's that? Oh, you don't understand. There's cosmic rays in space, and the film is getting But also look at the curve of the Earth. Is this a sphere? Is this a sphere? That's not a sphere.
No sphere.
Take this and line it up on a sphere. Try to show me what. Like it has to match a sphere perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
They say if you shrunk Neil deGrasse Tyson, or Neil deGrasse Tyson says, if you shrunk the Earth down to the size of a cue ball on a pool table, it would be smoother. That's stupid. It's just stupid. Okay. It's just stupid.
So listen to this. Listen to this, because I think you know this guy, or you had some. I think you saw a clip. I went on to the Dude Perfect Goes to Space.
Oh man, right? Yeah.
Just listen. So I go on there and I'm doing some prep for another article, and I see he's up there, and I watch the thing, and I'm looking at this accentuated Earth curvature that he went to. So Earth Dude Perfect went on Jeff Bezos. What is it? Blue Origin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blue Origin spaceship, and it goes. It's a pilotless crew. It's driven up automatically, and they stay up. They go up 60 some miles up, and then they come down. I got into this. Yeah. So he comes out, and the first thing he says is the Earth's not flat. There's a curvature. But then I challenged it. I said, I went on the web, and I posted a comment. I said, I think that they're using a fisheye lens or blah, blah, blah. This went on for like 10 days, back and forth. Finally, they admitted they were using distortion technology. So, and then once they admitted that, they never said anything again. So obviously, you've got a sounding rocket that took off from Sweden. I think it was 156 miles, and they used a fisheye lens, but it's a minimal. It looks flat. That's at 156 miles, allegedly. And then this thing was 60 miles, and it looked like an orange. It looked like, it was so curved. So
do you see it? Look how flat it is here, right? Let's go back. What? And this is Cody. This is him who you're talking about. It's looking pretty flat out there. And so watch the next scene. Watch the next one. They show it. They're going to show the curve. And it's flattening. Right? What?
Yep.
What's going on? I mean, anyone that denies this is just in denial. I mean, look at it curving back up, right? And basically this is a bunch of zero-G flights, right? This guy is falling out of space. They'd be crapping their pants. They wouldn't be falling. Yeah. They're all doing that. The thing should be tumbling. If they're spending their body weight pushing off the walls, right? Their friends here watching, well, that makes it real because their friends are watching. No, they're all in on it. And their friends, I forget the quote. One of them goes, "This is unreal. This is unreal." They're like, it is real because it's not real, right? This is the booster landing. These vertical landings are stupid. They're absolutely stupid.
It's crazy. So you had another clip, Dave. You had another clip where there's a rocket, right? And this rocket the top of the rocket disappears, and then it comes back.
I'll show you in a second. So here's Cody in space, right? And here's Cody on the ground. There's Cody on the ground. You can see the curve. All right. I mean, it's not a fisheye lens. It's just I don't know. It just can see the curvature from any location, right? And this is a gear for 1,300 mile per hour fighter pilot. This is what he's got to wear. And this is 2,200 mile per hour Cody Cotton going up to 350,000 feet. Okay. This is at 45,000 feet. And this is his outfit. Okay. Wake up, people. Wake up. Wake up. It's all fake. All of it. It's
It's
fake.
crazy.
It's
It's
fake.
crazy.
It's
Yeah, I
so
agree.
fake. It's
No,
so fake. Yeah.
I 100% agree with you. I just think that it's crazy, but like you said, and I have to agree with you, this subject and a lot of other ones, when people they've been invested in something their entire lives, they've been
Yeah.
taught it in school, they
Yeah.
regurgitate it, their parents, and then when someone challenges that and they see evidence that is clearly contrary to what that is, they're going to fight it because they're emotionally invested in it.
Yeah.
And that's what we see here.
Yeah. Watch this. Hold on. Let me show you. So William Shatner, from
Yeah,
he all of a sudden
Kirk,
comes back
Captain
on the
Kirk.
scene. Yeah, Captain Kirk, right? So this is him. He was just catapulted into space, free falling. He's like 90 years old now, fat and out of shape. He's in this thing, and they're coming down. Watch this impact. Look at that impact. Okay, what what the hell? So let me ask you a question. If you go to like a town fair or something and they got rides and everything, what do they have there? They got ambulances there. They always have to have an ambulance. I used to run a school fair. We had to have two ambulances there just in case. Okay. So
Yeah,
this guy is shot up into space at G forces that none of us could even imagine. He slams into the ground and then he comes back to Earth. So let's see what happens. Let's see the paramedics on this one. So we'll jump here. So he slams down. The thing never lands on a bush. It always lands actually quite perfect. It's amazing. And then
yeah,
we'll jump forward here. Oh, look, here's the welcome committee. We got some wives. We have Jeff Bezos. Some high fives. Where's
right.
the medical team? Where's the medical team checking them out? Where's the
Yeah,
ambulance? Where look at these guys, right? They're all coming out. There's Captain Kirk. Hey, everybody comes out. Jeff Bezos, big hug. Good job, right? These are liars. They're liars. Yes, I'm calling Captain Kirk a liar, right? He did it
yeah,
for money. The guy was basically, I think he was broke. He spent all his money, and they're like, okay, you're going to do this fake thing. We'll give you $2 million. He's like, okay, I'll do it, right? And
yes.
whatever the motivation is, whatever. But he's a horrible actor. Horrible, horrible. He's gotten worse with age. But where is the medical crew? Where's the medical crew? There's no medical crew.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And here's the Jeff origin, the blue origin, right? It's very phallic.
yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, if you're filming it, it should be this: film, got it. Let's count the number of cuts from before it. So here's what: one, two. That's two edits. Three edits.
Yeah.
Four edits. Five edits.
Yeah.
Right? Does that look real?
It doesn't.
Six edits, right? And I think this one has a glitch in it also. We'll look at this one. Six edits. All right.
Yeah,
Here I'm going to zoom in on the CGI glitch. Ready? Watch the top of the rocket right there. You see it? I'll go in a little
yeah.
tighter. Watch. Oh, what is that? What is that?
Disappeared.
It's a glitch.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's CGI. I do.
Absolutely. Like the recent rocket that they just did where they caught it with the chopsticks. I think a friend of mine, Fittest Flat Earther, he caught some little things that were piece of objects outside, around the craft that could be little drones. And then he found out there's a technology where they use drones to project holograms into the sky. Maybe that
Mhm.
entire thing is a projected hologram. It's crazy. It's wild.
It's something you have to consider for sure, because I think, like I was talking, the one that you had done where you had said that you were able to look up the serial numbers or something, and it was from a company that did holographic.
Holographic projection. What are those holographic projectors doing on NASA's lawn or SpaceX's lawn? Right?
It's
It
crazy.
makes no sense whatsoever. Um, Did you
Yeah,
see the recent SpaceX launch that they caught it? It's called the Ultra Heavy, and they caught it
yeah,
on chopsticks. Right?
yeah.
I'm
I thought.
I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go. I'm working on a compilation video, but let's see if we can. Where is it? Hold on. All right, go there, and all right. Let me share. Share with sound. 1 second. All right. And I say share. All right, you can see this, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's I just so look at this thing coming out of the sky. It comes out like what the hell is going on there? Now watch how fast it comes down. Like how high is that cloud? Maybe it's pretty low, right? But it's hiding in there. I'm just going back and forth there. And then you believe that this thing lands in the chopsticks.
Yeah.
And then just disappears. This is it's only coming down. I got it going forward and back. So let me just go forward here a little bit. So it lands upright, right? And then here's coming down. Watch this. I don't know how to turn the volume down. Oh, here we go. Volume. All right. So here's it coming down. Watching the clouds. Watch the clouds have this weird morphing effect going on. See that?
Yeah.
What's that? And they're like, oh, it's the thrust from the rocket breaking the sound barrier. No, this is all projected CGI. And there's one part where you can actually see a blimp in the cloud. Like what's up with that? Maybe
there's a lot of
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in there that's going to make you suspicious that that's not a true representation of what's happening.
Yeah. So here it's coming down. In sync here. You see that? Do you see that morph in the cloud in the middle one? And there's a blimp in that cloud. What's going on with that?
Yeah. Do they give any kind of explanation?
No, you're not supposed to see it, but I think I have it at the end of this video. Okay. Go forward here. Okay, yeah. There it is, right there. You see the blimp on the right over his head? The little black thing?
It's a little small on my screen, but I believe you.
Yeah. I'm not showing it full screen? Oh, maybe. No, it should be pretty big.
On my presentation, I have two of you, right. Too small.
All right. Well, people will be able to see it. But,
okay, that's all. That's what's important.
Yeah. So basically, he shows here this projection company that uses drones to project things into the sky, and maybe that's just Why is that up there? How could there be a blimp up there? What is that? Looks like a blimp. There would be nothing allowed in the sky where that thing's coming down. There'd be nothing. And look at that fire. You believe that? And look at the clouds. This is all fake. You can't see it, all right? But people should be able to see it. So
yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolute insanity.
It's unbelievable. So there's obviously the holography that they're using is a real thing in these rocket launches, and they're using fisheye lenses. They're using things. They're photographing things in swimming pools, and so when we look at these things collectively, it speaks volumes that our space accomplishments are not really accomplishments, and that goes for not only crewed missions but uncrewed missions. So we're it looks like, and I'm sure you believe that we're in an enclosed system. So whether you believe it's a firmament, a dome, some type of thing that encloses the system.
Seems to be.
Seems to be. We don't know. We're not. What looks like it looks like it. What do you think? How high do you think they can actually go? Do you think that there's a number that they?
Yeah, so we the Go Fast rocket, and the Go Fast rocket went up 72 miles, then all of a sudden it went kerplunk and went into something, and it stopped spinning. It was spinning super fast, and all of a sudden it hit something. Sounded like water, but it would have broken to a million pieces at that speed. So it went into something thicker, and that's where the NASA guy, who I verified who he was, he gave me tons of information to verify, when he worked there and everything, and he said. He could tell me that that there's a plasma layer, and then above that it becomes water, and then it becomes
Right.
thicker, and then it becomes solid. And he said NASA has the capability of going up there and investigating, but they're forbidden to. And he wouldn't tell me by who. Like
Okay.
forbidden by the heads of NASA or people above NASA, right?
Right.
You know, who knows? This is a hologram. The way you can tell a real rocket launch from a holographic launch or a blimp launch is there's no smoke trail, right? Look at all the
Mhm,
smoke coming
mhm.
out of the ground, but this thing goes up and watch, this little clean glass flame has no smoke
Right.
trail. There's no smoke.
Right.
There's no smoke. Where's the thrust blowing this away, right? Think
Yeah.
about you ever see the thrust from a 747 that blows like a truck or a bus and it just goes flying through the air from the thrust?
Mhm.
Well, that's only a couple hundred miles an hour. This is like 20,000 mile an hour thrust, and the smoke doesn't get disturbed.
Yeah.
And
But
then
where's the
this
top
is
of the
what you're talking
rocket
about.
though?
Yeah, where's the top of the rock? Oh, you did that. I could see that you did something. No, I didn't do anything. This is NASA's feed, right? This is their
Yeah.
feed, right?
Yeah.
People don't want to believe that there can be this much deception, but there is. There is.
Yeah.
Whether you believe it or not isn't my problem. That's your
You
problem.
know, Dave, everyone always says though that, like you just said, all these people that work at NASA. I mean, there's 50,000 people or whatever. They could never keep a secret, but actually they can because everything is compartmentalized. I've used the analogy in a factory, like for example, an automotive factory. You've got thousands of workers building a BMW, for example, and not one of them or a group of them could do that alone. They only know the individual things they're doing. So it's very easy to compartmentalize stuff, especially in industry. So just because a lot of people work at a place doesn't mean they know the whole picture. There's only a few at the top that have a real clear picture of everything that's going on. And I
Yeah.
think that's what's been, yeah.
So Justin Harvey, who's a great researcher on all levels, he's in the movie Level with me. And he he was communicating with a guy that worked for one of the big chemical companies, DuPont or whatever. And the guy was telling him this. He said he was called, this was years ago. I forget how long ago, but he was called over to go to a NASA facility because they needed a certain type of coding and they wanted to see if they could do it. So the story is I'll keep it short as possible. He gets to the gate and he has to strictly wait. And then an armed guard comes and goes, follow me. Right. And he follows them and they go into this building. They go up to a certain floor and there's cubicles everywhere. And as he's walking down the aisleway past the cubicles, each cubicle has a little alarm light on it. And the alarm light started going off. Right. They're all going off. And he's like, is something wrong? And he goes, no, it's just you. So that means there's an unauthorized person walking through. So this is compartment. There's no way for anybody to go somewhere unauthorized because alarms start going off, right? So he's being escorted through. The lights are going off. They get to the room, and the guy who's supposed to meet isn't there. The guy's like, wait in the corner, stand there, like literally put him in the corner like a kid, and gets on the phone. He goes, oh, they want me to take you to hangar 27, whatever the number was. And so they go back down, they go, and he describes it as this hangar had the highest, biggest door he's ever seen. Okay, cool hangar. He says he goes inside. He goes, there's all sorts of giant cranes in there, and he named them because he knows them. He goes, this is just these giant cranes. He knew all the model numbers because he's in the construction business, right? He's
Right.
like, he goes, this crane is 5,000-ton crane, and this, and they were 500, whatever, 5,000 pound, whatever. I don't even know how they measure them, right? And then he said they're walking across this concrete floor, and he described the floor that it's a high impact, smooth concrete. He goes, and then there was a perfectly cylindrical hole in the floor. I think it was like 100 feet wide and maybe 80 feet deep, right? That's a
Right.
weird hole, right? And they said, we need a coating for this. It's going to be filled with water. And he's like, okay, we can do that. He goes, do you know the pH of the water? And he says the pH will be 7 or whatever it is. And he goes, okay. And he goes, we need it to be black. And he goes, yeah, we can do that. And he goes, we need it to be non-reflective. And he goes,
Mhm.
well, that's a problem. We need it to be matte coated, not gloss. He goes, that's a problem. We can't do that because, the water, it'll fleck off or whatever. And he goes, well, why do you need it to be matte and not glossy? He goes, well, we're going to be filming with lights and we don't want to see any reflections off the wall. And I don't end up, if they came up with a solution or whatever, but when he left, he said he realized that's where they're filming spacewalks and the cranes hold the different pieces of equipment at different levels in the hole. And the guys go down there and they're scuba diving and they're doing their fake spacewalks in this hole that has black, so it's like you're in infinite space.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What other explanation is there? There is no other explanation. So
no,
that's wild.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a movie. The whole thing's a movie. The whole world's a movie. The world is a stage. Are you excited for the show on November 5th? It's going to be fascinating.
It's everything is like you say. Is it going to be living in the Matrix? Is it going to be a comedy or is it going to be a horror show? Which one is it going to be? I think it's going to be an action adventure. An action adventure. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. It's amazing. It really is. And when people, when you look at people, and I don't disrespect anybody's beliefs or whatever it is, but the gullibility factor of the human species is really high. It really is. And there are people that have awakened, and there are people that have a clear understanding that they've been lied to about a lot of things. We just wrote a book. I wrote a book with a guy and my wife about old world buildings and stuff, and we watched. I know you're
a big fan.
My lunch break.
He's the best, right? He's the best.
He's great. And we teamed up with a guy, Chris Kelly, who's old world exploration. He does the same kind of work. And the thing is, and John Levi, who does some great stuff.
I love John.
These people, they have uncovered, in my opinion, it's the evidence of these buildings. I mean, they lie about everything, Dave. They lie about infectious diseases. They lie about macro things. They lie about micro things. They lie about the shape of the earth. They lie about historical narratives. What don't they lie about? They lie about everything.
Yeah, these are all good. On my app, I have a new button. It's a griffin, which is the old world button. And we have all sorts of stuff. So we got my lunch break. He's got 2 spots here. Old World Order. If you haven't seen that, it's right here. You got to watch that. That's by Sean Hibbler, who did Level series and a bunch of other amazing films. And there's all sorts of stuff. We got John Levy's in here. And here's John Levy right here. And just start watching these things and then make up your own mind. Go out and in your own town, there's old world buildings. To go look at them. Try to get in the basement. They're
all over the place.
They're everywhere. And so the question is, good.
I'm just saying, the thing is, this, a lot of times when you see a conspiracy theory or when people think outside the box, the first thing they'll say to you is, well, show me the evidence. In the case of this discipline that's being fast becoming a very, very interesting subject, the buildings, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. How did they build these amazing buildings with the narrative they said 200, 300 years ago? If you go into Europe, 500, 600, you're telling me they built the Cologne Cathedral in Germany? They built that in the 1100s, and they built it the way. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous narrative.
I have my theory on how these things were built. I think the world used to be, like when the world was created, and you want to say the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve, whatever, this place was angelic, right? People lived for a long time. They're more of an angelic, godly realm, and these things were created as part of the infrastructure of the creation. That's me. That's my thought. I have no proof of it, other than when you look at the crap, there's really no other explanation.
You know what, Dave? We don't know. We don't know what the answer is.
That is correct.
The only thing we do know is that the narrative that they're giving us doesn't make sense.
Correct. That's it. That's absolutely true. And I try not to make positive claims. Like, people like to talk about more land. I love talking about more land beyond. Right. I think there's more land. I don't have proof. I don't.
Right.
And if I found out there was no more land and Antarctica is just all there is, that'd be interesting. But we have whistleblowers that say that there's cities in Antarctica of millions of people that aren't allowed to
Yeah,
communicate with the inner people, inner lands here. Maybe that's where, the old ancient civilizations moved to. Maybe they migrated outwards. Maybe they're off on another pond. I don't know, but I
we
know
don't.
the story is, of what this place is baloney. And, we're trying to figure it out. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. You got millions of pieces of a puzzle, and some of them aren't really accessible. So you're trying to put together a picture of something that once was, and it's not an easy. We may never get all the answers, but we try to enlighten. We try to bring to people's attention that we're not being told the truth. There's a more truthful explanation than what we're being presented. That's obvious. What it is, we don't know yet. We may never know, but we're trying.
So I encourage people, your listeners, the red pilled. There's a lot of people that are red pilled, but they haven't taken the flat Earth red pill yet. Take it, look at it. I offer 3 Bitcoins in a casual offer. I don't have it in escrow. The trolls freak out. It needs to be in escrow, and you need to do that. No, I don't. It's my honor. It's my honor. Okay. Show me a globe proof. We've shown you globe proofs. Show me the globe proof that you've shown me. They can't, right? They can't. It's so stupid. They show me like a page of calculations and stuff. I'm like, that's not a globe proof, right? The movement of the lights in the sky, right? Show me gas uncontained in a vacuum. Okay. Other than like what? You can't, right? So show me curvature. Show me axial rotation. That's interesting. Let's see it. No one's ever done it. So go to flatearthdave.com, watch the videos, get the app if you want. The app's $3. There's an $11 a year subscription that you don't need unless you want to be part of the social media and be able to contact other people and do all sorts of stuff. It is awesome, and everybody will eventually want to do that, but that's up to you. The app is a one-time charge of $3, and you get 95% of the content on the app for that $3. So
That's great.
yeah, and I tell people just learn about it. Make up your own mind. Don't believe anything I say. Don't believe anything anyone says, right? And just be careful. Just watch. The trolls will show up in your chat, and they will have empty channels. They'll accuse, but they'll never prove. They'll never provide a proof. They'll say, flat earthers never address how the sun sets. I've addressed it perfectly. I've explained it perfectly, not in theory. I've shown you how it happens, but they'll flat, then you explain it to them in the next video. They're like, flat earthers have never explained a sunset. How about this? Don't be a disingenuous, satanic jackass. I'm sorry. A little fired up today. And that's it. So why does it matter? That's my favorite thing on the app, by the way. If you hit the frequently asked questions button, which is the question mark, and you go right here, why does it matter? Great videos there. Those are awesome videos. Where does the sun go? Right up there, right? That's an awesome section right there. How do seasons work? Seasons actually prove the earth is flat. All sorts of stuff here. You won't find any of those videos on YouTube because they're all being hidden from you and they're feeding you propaganda. If you hit the web button, the spider web button, which is right there, right there, there's all sorts of resources here. But right here, now the app has there's so much stuff on it. It is intuitive. You can figure it out. But here is an instructions. And there's some short videos there. The short videos at the beginning will show you how to set up your referral code, how to gift the app to Android, how to gift it to Apple, and then how to set up your crypto address. We started a crypto coin called Dome. You can hit this button right here and learn about that. And you people are earning. We did an airdrop. We did an airdrop on 9/11 that was worth $10 for anyone that did it. So they got $10 worth of Dome. It's worth $150 today, right? So that's free. Okay. Yeah. So learn about that stuff. If you hit the middle button right up there, it opens up this. This is your referral page. This is my referral code. Anyone that downloads the app and uses my referral code, I'll get 1.5 million Dome, which is worth, what is it worth now? It's worth like $7, right? So if I gifted the app to you for $3 and you use my referral code, I get $7 worth of Dome. Is there a little arbitrage happening there? This will be a random number when you open up yours. Click the pencil, change it to something that's easy to remember. You can change yours to, John R. And then so when you tell someone about the app, they use John R. Right. And then you put your your wallet address here, and that's it. And then you'll earn Dome every time you get a referral. From now until December, it's worth 1.5 million. After December 25th, we have a flattening, and the flattening will make it. That number will be reduced, and we don't know what that number is yet. We were thinking it's going to be $1 million, but by then that $1 million could be worth $25 or nothing. Who knows? So we're trying to figure it out as we go, but it's fun. Listen, John, let me ask you a question. You're a flat earther.
Yes.
You're talking to somebody casual. You go to a party. You're hanging out. You're talking to them. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about? You want to wake them up. You want to red pill them, and the best red pill is the flat Earth, right? But it's hard. You can't just start with flat Earth with a normie. You have to say something, right? But that's what we want to do. So we've made it so sharing the app with people is how you mine Dome coins. So it comes around and it works. It works. It's an amazing. It's an amazing coin that I think has massive potential.
That's great. Yeah. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know you're a busy guy, but I really appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to interview you. It's been a lot of fun. It's been very informative, and I will put this on my my website, which gets thousands of viewers a day, and we're going to do it.
Follow me on X, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me on my YouTube channels. Hey, what are those channels? They're all linked at flatearthdave.com. All the icons are right there. Click follow, right? And you'll get tons of stuff, tons of great stuff. Flatearthdave.com, that's where everything is. If you have a show that you want me to, that you would maybe like to interview me, click book Flat Earth Dave at the top. Send me your information, and we'll set up something if it makes sense.
Sounds great.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff there. Watch the crash course videos. Check out my t-shirts. I got cool t-shirts there too.
You got just a tremendous amount of content that is very informative and will make, even if you don't, if you're not a flat Earth believer, or if you're not a red pillar, you go into looking at this material and you're going to be definitely asking some more questions, because there's a lot behind this, and there's always a lot behind the truth. And I think that you're doing a great job and a great service, and thanks for doing what you do. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you later.
All right, then. Have a good one.
Bye.